I suppose, look, unfortunately, in the division Clare Tipperary, we've had a significant increase in the amount of fatal collisions that we've had, unfortunately, and serious injury as well. So, compared to this time last year, we're up in those figures, which those figures are always, the story behind those is that there's a family that has lost a loved one, and there's the whole effects of a fatal collision and the ripple effects of it. So, as we come into the next few weeks now between this and the end of the year, people need to be really careful out there on the roads. They need to take the necessary precautions. The weather conditions have been very, very poor over the last number of weeks. A lot of standing water, wind and rain, and icy conditions as well. So we'd expect the same as we move into the last few weeks of 2025. So I'm appealing for motorists to slow down, drive to the conditions as we mentioned before, and make sure their vehicles are in roadworthy condition as well. Lights, wipers, make sure they're clean, make sure their windows are properly defrosted or cleared as they move off. And I'm still seeing cars on the road totally fogged up, driving along, not using the heater system effectively in the vehicle. And it's something which does add to the dangers then of driving. If you can't see out properly, you're putting yourself at risk of coming into collision with a pedestrian or a cyclist or some vulnerable road user like that. So look, as we go into the last few weeks of 2025, we just want people to think about what they're doing on the roads. Think about if you're going walking, if you're going cycling, if you're on an e-scooter, if you're on any type of a vehicle, driving a vehicle for work or for just for recreation or going between A and B. It's a serious job now to try and get between A and B without unfortunately becoming a statistics or having a collision, which nobody wants. So we are manning our patrols, as we've said, for our Christmas campaign. That will run all the way through into the first week of January. It won't just stop on the 1st of January. So we are appealing to people as well to, we will have mid checkpoints out there checking for driving while under any intoxicant. That's the drug driving side of things, and also driving while under an intoxicant, which the alcohol, which will be the traditional one that people will be used to. So look, we have seen an increase as well in the amount of arrests we've had for both those categories of drug driving and drink driving in the last number of weeks in Clare as well. So it's important to know that we are out and about. Drinking and driving or driving an intoxicant while driving are now some of the key drivers behind some of those fatal collisions we're seeing, as well as the inappropriateness of speeding, not wearing the seatbelts, and again using the mobile phone when driving. Those type of distractions are adding, unfortunately, to the overall statistics that we're seeing.
Yeah, and I suppose there was quite alarming stats from the RSA as part of the joint appeal that the operation was beginning. And I suppose when you're looking at the numbers, it's over 1 in 10 have admitted to drink driving of the respondents, and almost 1 in 20 to driving under the influence of drugs. That they're quite alarming statistics.
They are, and there was, fortunately, some people had multiple arrests for drink driving or drug driving as well, which was notable in the statistics that were just brought out there last week. And I think, look, going forward, people, if you're a passenger in a vehicle and somebody is after having a drink or two, or if they're under the influence of any intoxicant, you make sure that you take control of your own destiny there. Don't get into a vehicle that you believe somebody has drink taken, and even intervene if you can, and try not to let somebody drive away. Taking the keys away, it's not the easiest thing to do at times, but there is a responsibility there for everybody to try and do the right thing and make sure that everybody is safe on the roads. And the alternative as well is, if somebody's going out for a few drinks for the Christmas, everybody wants to enjoy their Christmas period as well and the festivities, but again, you have to make alternative arrangements now and make sure that you can get home safe. And I'm a firm believer, some of the statistics, unfortunately, we've seen over the last number of Christmas periods have been people taking a chance, walking home very late at night, probably having a few drinks on them, no torch, no high-vis jacket, and walking on rural roads which have no lighting whatsoever. And again, there are recipes for disaster now, as we've seen over the years, that people driving along come across somebody totally in the darkness, and unfortunately we've had people knocked down and killed as a result of those actions. So we just want to make sure that everybody is aware of the festivities. Everybody knows Christmas is coming. Everybody knows that they'll have their Christmas nights out. And on Garda Síochána, we're not trying to stop anybody having fun or enjoying the festivities. What we are trying to do, though, is make sure that everybody is responsible in their actions, particularly when we're on the roads now for the last piece of 2025.